The drama that's unfolding right now is so hot it could melt your screen. The streets are absolutely buzzing with the most shocking news, and trust me, you're going to want to hear every single juicy detail of this family saga. Here's the piping hot scoop that has everyone's group chats blowing up right now. There's apparently some major tension brewing between Steve Harvey and his beloved daughter Lori, all because of her absolutely scandalous Playboy magazine cover. And when I say scandalous, honey, I mean it's steaming up windows across Hollywood. The photos are so spicy, they should come with a warning label. Now, if you've been keeping up with all the drama, and seriously, who hasn't been obsessing over this family? You know that Lori has been making headlines non-stop these past few years. Her love life has been more dramatic than a soap opera marathon. She's been linked to some of the hottest eligible bachelors in Hollywood, and the tea surrounding each relationship is absolutely scalding. Some people have even had the audacity, and I mean the absolute audacity, to accuse Steve of pimping her out to these industry men. But hold on to your designer bags, because based on Steve's reported reaction to this Playboy situation, it looks like Miss Lori has been running her own show all along. The word on the street, and by street I mean every single Hollywood insider I know, is that Steve is absolutely losing it over Lori's decision to pose for Playboy. And it gets even juicier. There are whispers, darling, whispers that she might be selling some extra spicy content. But here's what everyone in my DMs is dying to know. Why on earth is Lori doing all this? Could our glamorous it girl really be broke after Damson Idris showed her the door? The plot thickens. Now let me spill some more scorching hot tea about this family drama that's been simmering beneath the surface. For the longest time, people have been pointing perfectly manicured fingers at Steve, claiming he was the mastermind behind Lori's high-profile love life. And honestly, can you blame them? It did seem suspiciously convenient how she always managed to be in exactly the right place at exactly the right time to catch these eligible bachelors' attention. I mean, what are the odds? And let me tell you something. This caused some serious drama in the Harvey household that would make the Real Housewives look like a tea party. According to a very reliable insider, and trust me, this source is so close to the family they practically have their own key to the mansion. Steve did the right thing adopting Marjorie's kids and loves them like his own, but honey, that Harvey clan is more divided than a pizza at a party. The source spilled that there's been some major jealousy brewing among the siblings because Lori has completely stolen the spotlight with her headline-grabbing love life, and can you blame them? While they're trying to build their own careers, Lori's love life is getting more press coverage than a royal wedding.
On one of our annual father-daughter dates to my favorite Japanese restaurant, and you just started talking to me about guys, and you just told me that you always supported me and you'd always be there for me no matter what, and you loved me unconditionally.
And speaking of family drama, brace yourselves for this absolutely earth-shattering bombshell. While Steve was playing favorite daddy with Lori, taking her on these fancy father-daughter dates that looked straight out of a luxury magazine, his other kids were practically strangers to him. Can you believe his son Bruck didn't even have a real relationship with Steve until he was 15 or 16? Like, hello? Where was all that fatherly love then? But wait, it gets even messier. Someone who went to high school with the twins dropped this nuclear bomb. Steve didn't even show up to their graduation. I mean, seriously? You can jet set around the world with Lori, but can't make it to your own daughter's graduation? The shade of it all, and the tea just keeps getting hotter. Don't even get me started on how he treats Marjorie's other kids. Sure, he adopted all 3 of them, but anyone with eyes, and darling, I have 20/20 vision when it comes to drama, can see that Lori is his precious little princess, while the others are basically supporting characters in the Steve and Lori show. He's been her biggest cheerleader, darling, always there with that $1 million smile, whether she's strutting down runways, dating Hollywood's finest, or setting those red carpets on fire. The favoritism was so obvious it was like a billboard in Times Square. Steve was practically glued to Lori's side, hyping her up and proudly standing by her through every single moment. Whether she was landing those major modeling gigs, stepping out with her latest A-list boyfriend, or making waves on the red carpet, Steve was right there, beaming like a proud papa and co-signing every single move she made. Let's talk about those father-daughter outings that have everyone raising their perfectly groomed eyebrows. Were they really just innocent bonding moments between a loving father and his daughter? Or was Steve strategically placing her in certain circles, making sure she was seen by all the right people at all the right times? The plot thickens, darling, and the mystery deepens. Speaking of elite circles, let me dive into Lori's absolutely spectacular dating history that reads like a who's who of Hollywood's most eligible bachelors. We're talking cream of the crop men men here: Future, Michael B. Jordan, and most recently, Damson Idris. When she and Michael B. Jordan went public in late 2020, everyone thought Lori had finally hit the relationship jackpot. I mean, hello? People's sexiest man alive, Hollywood A-lister, and a man who had never been so public about his relationships before. They gave us everything. Those Instagram perfect moments that looked like they were straight out of a romance movie, luxurious vacations that had us all green with envy, matching outfits that screamed number couple goals. It was like a real-life fairy tale. Michael was going all out, showering her with expensive gifts that would make a sheik blush, renting entire aquariums for private dates. I mean, who does that? And posting her like she was his entire universe. Everyone was practically picking out wedding venues for them, placing bets on whether the ring would be platinum or rose gold, but then, boom, June 2022 hit, and it all came crashing down like a house of cards in a hurricane. The word on the street? Michael was ready to put a ring on it, but Lori? Not so much. Social media had an absolute field day, joking that MJ's Lori subscription had expired and that Steve had blocked the renewal because he had other plans for his precious daughter. And just like clockwork, I mean, the ink wasn't even dry on the breakup papers, Lori pops up with Damson Idris in January 2023. One little Instagram story of him kissing her cheek and the internet went into absolute meltdown mode. But something felt different this time. The public appearances were as rare as a humble celebrity, and people weren't buying that spark. Sure, they did their red carpet thing, but by November 2023, it was all over. And here's the juicy part. Insiders started whispering that the whole thing was nothing but a PR stunt orchestrated by none other than Steve Harvey himself.
Get written about you in the press. But I've always wanted to know, what is like the biggest misconception about who Lori Harvey is?
It's so funny because I'm so quiet.
Yeah.
There's been so many stories that have been made up about me. Like I've seen stories about me being like fully in love with somebody and we had like this whole relationship, and I'll see the guy and I'm like, I've actually never even met him before.
No.
Like full-blown stories I've heard. I've dated a father and son before.
Not true?
But hold on to your wigs because we haven't even gotten to the messiest part yet. Remember the Diddy situation? Oh my God. When Lori started dating Diddy, the internet didn't just break, it shattered into a million pieces. She was just 22, fresh-faced and barely out of her teens, while Diddy was pushing 50. We're talking about a 28-year age gap that had everyone clutching their pearls. But that's not even the messiest part of this situation. Here's where it gets really scandalous. Diddy had known Lori for years through Steve. He'd known her since she was a teenager. Talk about awkward. The man had practically watched her grow up, and then suddenly they're dating? The internet couldn't handle it. And then came those absolutely wild rumors that she had dated both Diddy and his son. Though Lori quickly shut those rumors down faster than a club at closing time, the damage was already done. Now, let's talk about this Playboy situation that has everyone's jaws on the floor. This isn't just any regular photo shoot, darling. This is going to be Playboy's first physical copy in 5 years, and they're planning a rollout bigger than a Hollywood premiere. We're about to see some very steamy pictures of Lori in the coming weeks, and apparently, Steve is not handling it well at all. Can you blame him?
Never seen that picture before. Very uncomfortable with that picture right there.
I mean, seriously, if Steve was that bothered by that innocent picture with Michael B. Jordan, can you imagine his reaction to these steamy Playboy shots? Poor man probably needs a fainting couch and some smelling salts. The way he reacted to that harmless photo, you'd think he'd seen something absolutely scandalous. And now with these Playboy pictures coming out, he's probably building a bunker to hide in. But here's the real tea that has everyone whispering behind their hands. Why is Lori doing this now? Some reports are suggesting she might be, wait for it, broke. I know, it sounds absolutely crazy, but think about it. She hasn't been making headlines lately, her endorsements have dried up faster than a puddle in the desert, and her skincare brand, Skin by LH, complete radio silence, no social media updates, no new products, nothing but crickets and tumbleweeds. The brand's social media accounts have been gathering more dust than my ex's promises, and there haven't been any exciting updates or launches in what feels like forever. So maybe, just maybe, this Playboy shoot isn't just about art or expression. Maybe it's about that cold hard cash. So here we are, darlings, with the plot twist of the century. Maybe we've all been wrong about Steve this whole time. Maybe he wasn't the puppet master we thought he was, and Lori's been calling her own shots all along. Has she been the mastermind behind her own headline-making moves this entire time? Was Steve just being a supportive dad while we all assumed he was pulling the strings? The questions are endless, the drama is delicious, and the truth? Well, the truth is probably somewhere between the headlines and the whispers. But one thing's for certain, this family drama is far from over, and I'll be here, sipping my tea and spilling every single drop of gossip that comes my way. So what do you think about all this juicy drama? Are you Team Steve or Team Lori? Is this Playboy shoot a power move or a desperate plea for attention? The tea is served, darlings, and it is scalding hot. Drop your thoughts in the comments because this conversation is far from over. And if you thought this was juicy, just wait until you see what's coming up next. Stay tuned for more explosive revelations because in Hollywood, the drama never sleeps and neither do the gossip queens. Neither do